Good day, third year students. Let us continue with Matthew Arnold's The Scholar Gypsy. It is a long poem and it will take couple of days to complete. So let us start with the next stanza. In autumn, on the skirts of Bagley Wood, where most the gypsies by the turf-edged way pitch their smoked tents, and every bush you see with scarlet patch tagged and shreds of grey, above the forest ground called Thessaly, the blackbird, picking food, sees thee, nor stops his meal, nor fears at all. So often has he known thee past him stray, wrapped, twirling in thy hand a withered spray, and waiting for the spark from heaven to fall. In this stanza, he says that in autumn we have seen you around the Bagley Wood. Wood means a forest. And he says that, like most gypsies, you also pitched your tent in a rough, heathy area, and where the gypsies generally they pitch their smoked tents. Smoked tents means it is a tent which is patched up with patches of clothes. And he says that you can be seen there, and you must have also stayed in these patched tents. And then he says that he has become so one with nature that even the birds and animals, they don't stop their activity after looking at you. They are very easy with you. They are at home with you because they consider you the part of nature only. So he says the blackbird picking food. Generally, what does the bird do when it is picking food, and if it sees us, it flies away. It is afraid. But the birds, they are not afraid of the scholar gypsy because they have seen him often, and because they have accepted that he is a harmless creature. So he says that he sees thee and nor stops his meal, not fears at all. Neither this blackbird stops eating, nor it is afraid of the scholar gypsy. So, because very often this blackbird has seen this scholar gypsy, and rather the blackbird is twirling in his hand, playing in his hand, and waiting for the spark from heaven to fall. So, he says that the scholar gypsy has been seen a lot of times in the lap of nature, and he has become one with nature, so much so that even the birds and animals do not take him for harmful being, but they are very homely, at ease with him. Next stanza. And once in winter on the causeway chill, where home through flooded fields foot travellers go, have I not passed thee on the wooden bridge? Wrapped in thy cloak and battling with the snow, thy face towered Hingsay and its wintry ridge, and thou hast climbed the hill and gained the white brow of the Cumnor range, turned once to watch while thick the snowflakes fall, the line of festal light in Christ Church Hall, then sought thy straw in some sequestered grange. Now you see, in this stanza, the poet wants to say that even in very chilly winters, the scholar gypsy does not stop his quest for knowledge. Because generally gypsies, they can bear heat, they can bear the rains, they can also bear cold weathers. So he says that in the cold weather also, even in winter, you are seen outdoors. Generally, what happens in winter, that we stay indoors and we want to have a cozy house in winters. But he says that even in the very chilly winters, I have passed thee on the wooden bridge. Means I have seen you crossing the wooden bridge, and you were wrapped in your cloak and battling with the snow. Even during the heavy snowfall, You have been seen strolling outside your tent, and your face towered in Hingsay Hill. Now, what is Hingsay? It is a hill and wintry ridge. Now, he says, even in such cold weather, you were seen climbing the hill and gaining the white brow of Cumnor Range. Means his eyebrow is being compared with the Cumnor Range, because the topmost the topmost area of the Cumnor Hills are covered with snow, and even his eyebrow is covered with snow. Even the shape of the eyebrow is like the shape of the hill. Now he says, you turned once to watch while the thick snowflakes fall. You're not afraid of the thick snowfall, but rather you are enjoying it, and you are looking at the line of festal light of Christ Church Hall. So you were seen on the hill, you were seen on the bridge, and you were also seen near the Christ Church. Then sought thy straw in some sequestered grange. Now he says that he resumed his walking. Sequestered means some lonely grange. But what? I dream 200 years are flown since first thy story ran through Oxford halls, and the grave Glanville did the tale inscribe that thou wert wandered from the studious walls to learn strange arts and join a gypsy tribe, and thou from earth art gone long since, and in some quiet churchyard laid, some country nook where over thy unknown grave tall grasses and white flowering nettles wave under the dark red fruited yew trees' shade. Now the poet or the speaker, he returns to the present. Till now he was imagining. He was in a dream that he has seen the scholar gypsy at so many places that he has described in the poem, but now he realizes that 200 years have passed since the scholar gypsy has gone. So he says, it is 200 years since your story ran. Now, what was the story? Around the Oxford walls, that the writer Glanville wrote that the scholar gypsy left the Oxford halls and went to live with the gypsies. And he went to live with them, and he gained a lot of knowledge, and he gained their secret arts also, to learn strange arts and join a gypsy tribe. And thou from earth art gone. Now he says that now it is 200 years. 200 years have passed since you left the world. Long since in some quiet churchyard laid. Now he says that your body was laid in some quiet churchyard and in some country nook. Now, do you remember second year's poem, Elegy Written in a Country Churchyard? So, he was also a person who did not want to become popular. He did not want to come into the eyes of people. He did not want to show himself. So, he says, in some country nook, in some neglected corner of a country, and where thy unknown grave, his grave is also unknown because there is no monument built on his grave, and tall grasses and white flowering nettles are growing on your grave under a dark red fruited yew tree shade. Now yew, Y-E-U, is a tree which is associated with the graveyard. Next stanza. No, no, thou hast not felt the lapse of hours. For what wears out the life of mortal men, 'tis that from change to change their being rolls. 'Tis that repeated shocks again exhaust the energy of strongest souls, and numb the elastic powers, till having used our nerves with bliss and teen, and tired upon 1,000 schemes our wit, to the just pausing genius we remit our worn out life, and are what we have been. Now he compares the going of the scholar gypsy with the going of other common people. He says that other common people die and people forget about them, and they don't leave a remarkable memory after them, impression about them. And the people, common people, they don't lead a life like a scholar gypsy. They are wearied, they get exhausted very soon. And he says that no, thou has not felt the lapse of hours. Means you are still there, you are still living in the memory of people. Because in the previous stanzas also he has explained that he can be seen in the fields, he can be seen in the homestead, he can be seen in every season, in every nook and corner of the country. So he says that is why you have not felt the lapse of years and you are still alive among the shepherds. And he says other mortal men. Now he says what wears out the life of mortal men. Notice that he says other people are mortal. It means that he wants to say that the scholar gypsy is immortal because he is still living. Now he says that in changing roles and in bearing repeated shocks again and again, the energy of the strongest people is exhausted. And their elastic powers means the genius of their hearts and minds, it becomes numb. Why? Due to the repeated shocks. Now what happened to the scholar gypsy? He was a strong person. He could bear the repeated shocks and he was above the mortal men. But the other people, the common people's life is worn out. And that is why other people, he says that they are mortal. Next stanza. Thou hast not lived. Why shouldst thou perish so? Thou hadst one aim, one business, one desire. Else wert thou long since numbered with the dead. Else hadst thou spent like other men thy fire. The generations of thy peers are fled, and we ourselves shall go, but thou possessest an immortal lot. And we imagine thee exempt from age, and living as thou livest on Glanvill's page, because thou hadst what we alas have not. Now again he compares the scholar gypsy's life with the life of common people. He says he is different from the other ordinary people because he had one aim, one business, and one desire. And we, the common people, we, the mortal people, have divided attention, have divided concentration. We can't concentrate on one aim. We have a lot of businesses, lot of desires, and lot of aims. But you did not have so. You lived with one aim, one business, and one desire. That is why you are still living. That is why you are not numbered with the dead. That is why you are not counted with the dead people. Now he says, nor your zeal. Fire means zeal and enthusiasm. Your zeal and enthusiasm did not fade away. The generations of thy peers are fled. Now, peers here, he wants to say that the university people, their generations are fled, means people have forgotten about them, their generations, but you are still remembered till today. And he says that we ourselves will go, because whoever has taken birth will go. You remember the first line of this stanza, thou hast not lived, why shouldest thou perish so? You have not lived in this manner, so you will not perish. You will not come to an end in this manner. Now he says, but thou possessest an immortal lot. Again he says that the scholar gypsy was immortal. And we imagine thee exempt from age. He says that you are exempted from age. Even your memory shall live, and living as thou livest on Glanvill's page. You remember first year's poems? Shakespeare's sonnets, in which he wants to immortalize his friend, the fair youth, through his poems, through his sonnets. Now, he also says that as long as Glanvill's book will live, so long people will remember you. Because you had that desire to learn the knowledge, to go into the depth of real knowledge, not bookish knowledge, but practical knowledge, practical arts learnt from the gypsies, which we do not have. Next stanza. For early didst thou leave the world with powers fresh, undiverted to the world without, firm to their mark, not spent on other things, free from the sick fatigue, the languid doubt, which much to have tried, in much been baffled brings. O life unlike ours, who fluctuate idly without term or scope, of whom each strives, nor knows for what he strives, and each half lives 100 different lives, and who wait like thee but not like thee in hope. The comparison between the scholar gypsy and the ordinary common people continues. He says that you left the world early. So, whoever leaves the world early, he is at the zenith, he is at the top of his powers. So, he is remembered in that way only. So, he says, your powers were undiverted to the world without. Without means to the outside world. You were only concerned about the development of the soul. So, that is why you were not concerned, your powers were not diverted to the world. And you were firm, your willpower was strong, your personality was firm, and you did not spend your energy and time and enthusiasm on other useless things, and you were free from the sick fatigue, languid doubt. You did not have any doubt about gaining knowledge. You left Oxford, no doubt, but you were more learned than the other scholars of Oxford. Now he says, O life unlike to ours. Our life is ordinary, but your life was extraordinary. Now he says, we the common people don't know, we strive, means we struggle, but we don't know what we are struggling for. We run after money, we run after materialism, we run after power and name and honor, but we don't know what it will come in the end. Now he says, each half lives 100 different lives. Again, the split personality. He is talking of multiple personalities. We look one from outside, but we live multiple personalities within us. Now he says, who wait like thee, but not like thee in hope. People wait in hope, but people do not wait like you waited. Thank you. We will continue tomorrow.